Good morning from Chama. I'm all freshly showered and cleaned. It's coming up on breakfast time. I think the only place that's going to be open is a little coffee shop down the way, and they open right at 7. So last time I was here and they were the only place, they kind of sold out pretty quick of their food options, so we can at least get a little bagel sandwich and a coffee. So I'm going to hit that up right when they open here in a little bit. And I've done some initial planning for this next stretch, and I'll kind of show you what far out looks like. There's different alternates, there's high routes, there's low routes, depending on how bad the snow is in different sections. So we'll cover some of that a little bit later after breakfast. The Dollar Tree opens at 9, so we can hit that up a little bit later. I'm definitely going to pack out a little bit of extra food just in case. The next section is going to be a little sketchy, a little rough, potentially dangerous, but a lot of fun. Anyway, let's go find breakfast. Back from breakfast, that was pretty good. Now let me show you kind of in general what the southern San Juan section looks like and different alternates and kind of my basic planning for getting through maybe the first section or two into Colorado here. Okay, here's what the Colorado section looks like as far as what you see in far out. So just as far as this first stretch, we'll be getting back on trail down here just after the border, Cumbers Pass. I'm planning on taking the red line, which is the main CDT route, all the way up around here, which is Wolf Creek Pass. Then we can hitch down this road and get to Pagosa Springs. That's the first stop in Colorado. So that's just the first challenge. It's 60-something miles, so at least 4 to, it's doable in like 4 days, but I'm going to take at least 5, maybe more days worth of food. And then there's a bunch of different alternates depending on snow conditions, really. There's like high routes and low routes. So starting out, the red line is the high route. The green line is the low route. I'm definitely going to start on the high route and see how it goes. I'll turn around if necessary if it just gets too bad with the snow. After Pagosa Springs, main CDT swings way out to the west. That's another high route up on the ridges the whole time. Or you can do a low route, which is kind of the brown route in the middle here. And that goes to the town of Creed and then kind of catches back up with the trail further on. I don't know which way I'm going to go yet. It all depends on what the first stretch is going to look like and getting through the snow. But I'm going to take it slow, and as the weeks progress, I may not need to do much low routing, and by the time I get further north here, then hopefully all the snow is kind of melted and we can do just fine and stick to the red line. But there's multiple ways to go starting out, which is nice. You can kind of start out with a low route if you wanted to, but something else to note is that I feel like I'm kind of among the first wave of people that are entering Colorado. There's far fewer comments on any of the waypoints in here in the app. I've seen a lot of people that have skipped up north to try to knock out Wyoming, but they're also giving reports back that there's tons of snow and weather up in Wyoming, so it's kind of just as miserable up there. So I think maybe it feels like 2 weeks ago, the first couple people started trickling into Colorado, and only in the last 1 week, there's been kind of a steady stream of people that are just kind of going for it. So I'm still kind of in that early wave, trudging through the snow. We'll see what happens. Definitely taking it slow and steady. Alright, just to catch you guys up on some things. I was sitting out in the lobby of the hotel getting stuff uploaded, so I've got all my videos currently caught up, so that's awesome. Again, that's a huge stress relief when you don't have to worry about that anymore with your videos. And then I walked over to Tumbleweed's little outfitter, little container place, and looking at supplies to buy and stuff. Great dude, definitely support that guy and keep his business going. But let's talk about my stove, the MSR Pocket Rocket 2. This thing is finally dying after like 6,000 miles. Now what's killing it is the threading on the bottom. So when you screw it into a fuel can and you take it off, the fuel cans are pressurized obviously, so it tends to like pop off instead of easily screwing off. at the very end. So after screwing it on and popping it off, screwing it on and popping it off hundreds of times to boil stuff, the threading on the inside is just stripping away the metal slowly. And this last stretch, I noticed as you screw it in, it doesn't really stay in anymore. It keeps popping off. So that's just, you know, a major safety hazard. And if you can't stay on, it's not going to be able to burn the gas. So this thing's finally dead. What was cool is over at the Outfitters, I was like, you guys don't happen to have stoves, do you? And they did. So they've got this little Camp stove. So I've got a brand new one of these, so I'm good to go as far as boiling stuff. I also went ahead and picked up one freeze-dried meal. This is probably my favorite of all time. So they had the Backpacker's Pantry's fettuccine chicken Alfredo. My other meals are going to be ramen bombs, I think, for this next stretch. Let's see what else I got. I picked up a little emergency blanket. So I think this next stretch is going to be a lot more snow covered, and I don't know if I'll be able to set up my tent on a dry patch or not. So I was just thinking ahead, if I have to set up my tent in a flat area but there's a snow field, I can use this as the ground sheet and then set my tent on top of that. So that's what this is going to be used for. I mean, plus it's an emergency blanket, and we've had some really cold nights out there, so I may need it as its normal intended purpose anyway. And then I also bought one of his hoodies, the handmade hoodies. He makes them all himself. Again, it's really cold nights up there, and we're going to be up above 12,000, 14,000 feet in some of the peaks, and it's going to be cold, going to be windy, so having something like an extra fleece shirt is going to be great. So I tried this on, super warm, comfortable. It's going to be awesome. So I think that's it for now. What else is cool is that here in the hotel, so normally they didn't advertise that they do laundry services for any of the guests, but they're under new management, and there's some growing pains and trying to fix a lot of stuff up. So over the last couple of months, they're getting the hotel fixed back up, and they're less familiar with the hiker community, but they've kind of seen a lot of hikers come in and out. So I was just chatting with them about different things and services that hikers are looking for, and I mentioned laundry, and they were like, "Oh, we do provide laundry for guests." So for $5, they can wash and dry laundry. So I already kind of did most of my stuff, but there was a few things I didn't wash, like my sleeping bag liner bag, just because it's a bigger, more of a hassle thing to try to wash and dry. So I think what I'm going to do is bundle up all my clothes and then run it through their washer and dryer, and then we'll be just good there on the clothes. So that's awesome. So I really like the management here. They're learning about the hiker community. They're trying to be more hiker friendly, so that's really cool. So I think I'm going to do laundry. We'll wait till that's all done, and then I think I got to do a resupply run. I think I'm going to take at least 5 days of food, maybe a little bit more. Whew, and I'll catch you guys up once we're done with those activities. Well, I just got back from getting my laundry all done, so that was awesome that they were able to accommodate me for that. And I think they're also the only place that's doing lunch right now, is just here in the hotel, so we'll go see what they are serving.
Yes, my knees hurt really bad.
Well, I'm back in the room. I did some running around after lunch. I went over to the little Outfitters to try to lock in times for a ride back up to Cumbers Pass. And I figured just about noon. So leaving the pass, the next stretch as far as places where to set up a tent is going to be really, really limited, and I don't really know what the snow cover is going to be. So optimal places that look flat enough may just be a big snowfield, so it's kind of hard to judge your distances each day. But anyway, somewhere around 15 miles from starting is a good place to tent in theory, but I would have to leave early to try to push those 15 miles up and over mountains and through the snow and stuff, and I want to get a breakfast and kind of slow roll it out of town. So I think what I'm going to do for the first day is just do like 3 miles in. There should be like a river crossing near there, which looks like there's some tenting options, and that'll be just the first day. So like nice and easy, 3 miles, and then the second day would only be like 12 miles to get to that, next up camping location. And that's kind of how I plan to slow roll it kind of through this next stretch. So I've got plenty of food. I just got back from running also to the Family Dollar. So I got some more like chips and trail mix and jerky and stuff like that. So I think I'm good to go there. And I think that rounds out all the chores I need. Laundry's done, food resupply is done. Got a time for when going back up to the trail is done. And just kind of enjoy the rest of the day. I think it's about 2 o'clock or so I'm just gonna chill. I've got all my videos caught up, uploaded, so we're good there. So I'll probably just check back later once we're figuring out what to do for dinner, I guess. So it was coming up on dinner time, and I figured I'd just go down to the Family Dollar and just buy some stuff there just to snack on for dinner and call it good there. So as soon as I went outside, I was noticing that the largest thunderstorm I've ever seen in the last month is currently raging just to the north outside of town. It's only lightly sprinkling, but somehow I keep getting lucky with avoiding the weather. Anyway, so I go to check out, and I have some unusual items, and I'm talking to the cashier, and I'm like, hey, I hope this isn't the weirdest thing you've ever seen someone buy in one go. And he's like, hey man, I'm from Chicago. I've seen all kinds of crazy things. So that made me chuckle a bit. But here is what I bought for dinner. Tortillas, peanut butter, Nutella, and the meat of choice to top it all off, canned sardines. And that's gonna be my dinner. So I think that's it. Tomorrow we are venturing into the mighty mountains and snow and ice and afternoon thunderstorms and treacherous cliff slopes. It's gonna be awesome. So stay tuned for that, definitely. And that's it for now. We'll see you guys all in the morning. Good morning. It is 7 o'clock. And the Boxcar Cafe should be just opening up. So I've been trying to get a breakfast at that place every single day I've been in this town, and we may actually get a breakfast today. So let's go wander over there and see what we can find. Well, breakfast was really good. That was worth it. Now I've got like the next 4 hours or so just to chill and do whatever until I can get my shuttle ride back up to the pass. So I think I'm just going to hang around in the room and just relax. I only plan on doing like 3 miles today, and so my plan through this stretch, I should definitely team up with some other people, but I'm not with any groups right now. So just based on the distance and locations of where tent sites should be at, I'll probably be alone for the first night out there because not many people are probably just going to do 3 miles in, but on the second night, there's probably going to be, everyone's going to bunch up there, so there may be like 10 people at that location. So I'm just going to plan on rolling in with a group at that location. So we'll kind of see that later. And I think that's the plan. I think I'm going to have to be getting up at like 4 in the morning, just hiking over all the snow while it's frozen, and getting kind of to the next campsite as quick as possible because we're probably going to have afternoon thunderstorms every single day like we've had for weeks on end. So it's going to be not only challenging from doing the traversals and the snow crossings, but also dealing with thunderstorms and open exposed areas. So it's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of challenging, and that's kind of what I'm looking at going forward. So I'll probably just check back in a few hours once we're getting ready to get the ride back up to the pass. I'm all packed up and checked out to the hotel. One final lunch before reading the shuttle. Well, here we go. Just got dropped off Cumbers Pass. I've got everything I need to be as safe as possible for this next stretch. I'm excited, I'm ready, it's gonna be awesome. And like I said, I'm only doing like 3 miles today. But I do kind of want to get there sooner rather than later because we've already got like major storms popping off kind of to the north and around us. There's the scenic railway right there. We're going to be going right under. But there's a major storm right there. That's kind of to the north and to the east. That should be missing us, blowing away. But I'll definitely keep my eye out for anything that might be threatening. But we're clear for now. And the trail starts off with a huge snow berm that everybody's kind of bushwhacking around. Plenty of water sources out here so far. Hard to tell what the water situation is going to be like once we're up on top of the above tree line. Snow traversals, probably not much. Hard to tell. Feels like it's way warmer out here today than it has been the last week worth of hiking. It was pretty cold in the northern section of New Mexico last couple days out there. I don't think it got more than like 50 degrees. Right now it feels like it's in the 60s. Feels awesome. A little precarious to do it here on these logs, but we got to get across. Maybe I'll try it right here. We'll see. Yeah, that was relatively easy enough just right here on this pile of logs. Good thing I have a doctorate in crossing streams without getting my feet wet. You see the trail goes right underneath this giant snow berm and down tree. Everyone's kind of bushwhacking it around up that way, it looks like. That's Wolf Creek. That's the next stream to cross. I will not be crossing right where that log goes over, I don't think. Yeah, there's a log right here where the trail crosses Wolf Creek. I think I can make this easily enough. Well, I think this is the spot I was aiming for. Just a little patch of a clearing here, just up from Wolf Creek. I think this will work. I think it's something like 1:30. Storms are all safely the other way from, they're all moving away from us, is what I'm meaning to say. So nothing threatens us in the immediate future. I'm gonna get set up and spend the rest of the day here. Here's me all set up. Nice little mountain view. I think we're still somewhere above 10,000 feet. 10,100, something like that. It definitely feels warm out here today too. It's been freezing overnight the whole last week or so out here. I'm curious to see what it'll do for tonight. Weather's still good, but that can change by the hour. Catch back up when I'm cooking dinner or something in a few hours. I don't know if you guys can tell too well, but I can actually see the old scenic train going down the tracks. Cumbers Pass is kind of down that way somewhere. I heard it blowing its horn. Old antique steam engine. Well, it's come up on dinner time, so I got my chicken fettuccine alfredo all cooked up. And I think I'm just going to be hiding in my tent the rest of the night. Got clouds built all around, and I can definitely hear thunder in the distance. Not currently getting rained on, but you never know. It's all around me, so I'm expecting it to come in at some point. But I think the weather's going to be the same for like just continuous as what it's been doing. Clear in the mornings up until about noon, and then we're going to have building thunderstorms to avoid. And then off and on raining until about midnight or so, and then it'll clear back up again. So for tomorrow, I'm only planning on doing like 12 miles. I'm going to try to get up early, knock out those miles as quick as possible. We'll see what the trail snow conditions all look like, and get up to an area called Dipping Lakes. And I think that's going to be home for tomorrow night. And that seems like the safest plan so far. 15 to 17 mile days from here on out, over some rough, sketchy terrain, and avoiding thunderstorms. So next couple of days is going to be awesome. So hopefully y'all catch in for that. Thanks for watching, and we'll see y'all in the next one.